Welcome to UT Arlington campus, and whichever campus you are going to attend, welcome to the US. This video is especially important for new international students, and I will caution you and perhaps even warn you of three most important things that you should be very mindful about. This is Chaitanya Sambhara, faculty at the College of Business, University of Texas Arlington. Right now, I'm in one of UT Arlington's classrooms, and at this moment the classroom is completely empty, but in a few days this classroom will be filled with a lot of students. Take a look at this classroom. Okay, so the whole classroom will be filled with students. I'm not so much used to sitting on this side anymore. I usually stand on the other side while I'm teaching a class, but it's always great fun to sit in a student's seat and communicate directly with students. And the first thing I would caution you about, in fact even warn you, that even though you come here as a student to the US, it is quite possible that you might not even be able to attend classes. What am I talking about, right? See, what happens is that when you come here, you are supposed to register for classes, and all classes have limited seating capacity. Okay, there is a particular class size for each class, and therefore if you do not register for a class in time, what could happen is that you might not even be allowed to sit in that class because there are no spots available for you. How do you tackle that situation? I will give you the solution. What you need to do is to come here soon enough. Do not come here too late. One disadvantage that you have is that because you have not yet arrived in the country, those people who have already been here, they will be able to register for classes sooner than you can, right? Therefore, it is important to arrive soon, at least 3 weeks before your classes start. But I would say that if you can come here a month before, you should come as soon as you can. The point is that you cannot come here sooner than 30 days before your classes start. So what you need to do is that even before you step in this country, you need to go through your curriculum. What are the requirements for you to earn your degree? Go to your department's website and look at all those courses that are required and those courses that are optional, but focus on the number of courses or credit hours that you need to complete in order to graduate. Based on that, when you come here, find out who your academic advisor is and go talk to them as soon as you can. At least one academic advisor is assigned to all students. Therefore, set up an appointment, talk to your academic advisor and ask them what are the courses that you can take, and if you have any prerequisite courses. What are these prerequisite courses? These are courses that you need to take before you can take other advanced classes in your program. For example, when I came to the US, I came here for a master's in computer science. However, my bachelor's degree was not in computer science, it was in electronics engineering, which meant that for me to take some of the master's level classes in computer science, I was required to take some undergraduate level or bachelor's level courses so that I can eventually take those master level courses. Now in my case, I had to take 5 bachelor's level courses that were prerequisite for me. And therefore, once you know those prerequisite courses, you need to try and register for them as soon as you can, because what happens is that undergraduate classes are usually big, and graduate level classes or master's level classes are relatively smaller, and PhD level classes are even smaller, obviously, right? So if you are required to take any bachelor's level class, which is a prerequisite, be assured that the class will be filled by students very soon, and be mindful of a fact that multiple sections of that class could be offered. Therefore, the sooner you try to register, the sooner you will be able to get the timing and the location of the class that you would rather prefer. For example, not all that many students prefer to take 8 o'clock in the morning class. They prefer like 2 or 3 in the afternoon class, right? Now, if you delay, you will be forced to take the early morning class, which not many people want to take. Therefore, overall, to summarize my point, be aware of your curriculum, talk to an academic advisor, and try and register for classes as soon as you can. Now it's time to change the seat again. Okay, the second very important point I have for you is to not be lousy and get settled as soon as you can. And what I mean by that is that find your roommates as soon as you can, get your bank account made as soon as you can, get your social security number as soon as you can. You need to take these things out of your to-do list. Be aggressive with finding good roommates. The reason I say that is because whatever documents you file, you need to put your address in, and without a proper address, you will struggle. What if your documents are mailed at the wrong address? That is not good, right? So therefore, the moment you land in the US, as soon as possible, I would say go the next day to your campus, get your student ID made. day one you should have your student ID. At least that's what I did. And the reason I say that is because if you try to open a bank account, you will need at least two IDs. One would be a passport, which is fine, but where will you bring the second ID from? If you have your university ID, that will really help you open your bank account. Now, opening a bank account is good enough, but eventually that bank will also need your social security number. And you will not get your social security number unless and until you have an employment. Therefore, if you have proper roommates, if you have a proper address, you can focus on finding an on-campus job. Mind it that international students cannot work outside of the campus. So you will need to be very aggressive, and if you come here early enough, you will have enough time to find an on-campus job. And the moment you get an on-campus job, try and get an employment letter as soon as you can. It is just one piece of paper admitting that you are going to work for such and such department and you will be doing such and such job. Once you have that employment letter, take that along with your passport and your student ID and go to Social Security Administration office and get your SSN done. Because having a social security number is going to be very important for you. Now, before I forget, what bank should you open your account in? What I would suggest is that find out which bank's ATMs there are at your university campus or at the location where you live. Do your proper search. Only open an account with a bank that has enough ATMs in the area where you live. And I would also suggest that if you have traveler's checks or cash, try and deposit all that into your bank account as soon as you can. In fact, the day you open your account, just put all that money in the bank account. Your money will be safer there. And finally, I need to make a very important final point, and this you should listen very carefully. Okay, what happens is that many students are highly distracted, especially in their first semester, because everything is new for them. They have a newfound freedom in a new country, and many students are for the first time away from their parents, and many such students get really distracted in their first semester. Therefore, be very mindful that you need to do your absolute best in all the classes that you take in your first semester. If your GPA is messed up, if you perform poorly in your first semester, rest of your masters you will be struggling to maintain your GPA. And mind it that if you do not maintain a decent GPA, usually it is 3.0 for 2 semesters straight, you'll be kicked out from most of the universities. Therefore, I would rather suggest that in your first semester, live in a monk mode. Be completely focused. Do not get distracted by all these student clubs and all such things. They are good if you want to make connections, but they should be your second priority. Your first priority should always be your studies. Be good at your homeworks. Do not underestimate the exams. They can be much difficult than you would imagine. You do not want to be in a position where you have to go and request a professor in your second and third semesters to give you a better grade than you actually deserve, because most professors will actually not do it. Why would they? Why would they give you a special concession and be unfair to other students who have actually worked harder than you have? So I hope that was helpful in some way. Welcome to the US. Welcome to your new degree program. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind and God bless America.